Okay.
and I'm watching over here to see what happens. All right, everybody. Hopefully everybody could hear us, and if we're not audible, then let me know.
Are people actually in there now?
um,
Really?
yeah, there should be some people in there. Let me get over to this.
Fun. I'm literally in the process of putting together my little pseudo slideshow slash presentation event. So
Gotcha.
for those of you seeing me like busy at work here, if you can hear me,
Ah, there you go. So we are definitely live.
fantastic.
Yep. So obviously, guys, this is the first time that I'm running the show here for a Friday stream, and it was kind of short notice as well. Would have preferred a little bit more time to get myself situated, but I think that we should be in good shape. I have Scotty with me, and this is the pre-show. Technically, we got about 15 minutes, just about until 4 o'clock when the show really starts. So until then, we're going to be sorting out any little last minute stuff that we got going on.
Issues.
Yeah, issues. Um, doo, doo, doo,
And I'm
doo.
assuming can they hear both you and I simultaneously?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yep.
Good
And,
deal. Because having a back and forth like this is for the best, I think.
yeah, no, definitely.
The
There we
pre-show.
are. Okay, yep, and they could see. Yeah, hold on a second. I unmuted myself somehow. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yep, they could hear us both. Now I can see the chat. I wasn't able to see that in a second.
Oh, fantastic.
So, and everybody's waving and saying hi.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who uh, here now know that Stephen and I are gonna try a thing where, through the process of me talking about stuff like this, the stuff that I'll be talking about as I give you a little whirlwind tour of all things Shard and why it is that I've been kind of away from Portalarium for a while trying to work on this. Um, for the sake of engaging you guys better, hopefully what Stephen will be doing too in the midst of my little recitation is that he has permission to interrupt me throughout it if necessary to give him the chance to kind of indicate that there may be questions coming on in the stream from you guys that might be interesting for me to answer as I go.
Sounds good. Yes, that's correct. Scotty can't see chat. He could see it if he decides to go and watch the stream on another monitor or something, but it may be too much for us to handle all at once here. All right, I'm going to paste in the prize stuff. Just as a reminder for everybody that the phrase is still "I love fall most of all," and we will be doing prizes. Well, cross my fingers. And if they don't automatically generate properly, then I'll do manual stuff. Yes, prizes.
I love fall most of all because of Halloween,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
or to some of us in the pagan community, Samhain. I mean, to me, that's just an awesome time. I just love the whole idea of it. The spooky and the creepy are my special friends.
Okay, good. All right. And I guess I gotta ignore all this other stuff that's going on. So okay. And as we have 10 minutes to go before we start the show officially, and I guess just to say here is that I'm going to be streaming more. Well, it's definitely more than zero. I used to stream back in the day, but I haven't streamed recently at all, like the last year or so. And what I'm going to be doing is doing official streams on Try the Avatar, as well as myself eventually just to go mess around. But I'm going to try to do some consistent streams every so often. I haven't really figured out a schedule yet. For bug stuff, going over how to find bugs and actually doing some of the bug things on air to file bugs and things along those lines. And we'll have like bug brigade town halls. That's kind of like what I'm thinking about in the back of my head. So we could get mainly the bug brigade to get here, and we could have little meetings and stuff, and then of course the rest of the community is welcome to participate as well. And that way I could get better better at this and move forward as well. And then I give Chris a break every once in a while and do the Friday streams. Yeah.
And that's good anyway. I mean, simply because it mixes things up a little bit and gives gives folks uh, uh, with different like interests and desires to focus on different kind of things.
Yeah.
Variety.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
necessarily
Yeah.
won't be a variety show necessarily all the time, but certainly variety enough.
Right. And hopefully, it's entertaining and memorable. That's the key thing.
Yes.
So for those of you who are watching now, I'm in the fishing expedition. I'm actually on the QA server, as you can probably see at top left corner of my screen. And we have all of the different types of horses available in cache chests on list stock over here. So the first three are the tameable horses, and then we also have the Crown Store models and the ones that were the stretch goals. So if you want to come onto the QA server, load up the game through QA, and there's a link in the bug section of the forums, as well as the player test environment section of Discord, and you could download the client if you don't already have it, and then test out all the mounts and ride around, figure them out, see if there's any problems with them, and if there are, please report them. We're doing a great job of keeping this stuff on QA and making sure it's tested out. We have a focus team going on internally to make sure that the mounts issues as they're discovered are resolved. So hopefully we'll have as good a as near perfect a new feature as possible when we go live. So that's the goal. No, Merrick, you're not going to get me to sing. Not this time. I got too much to think about, but we'll get there. And so I'm going to. I don't want to be repeating myself within 5 minutes, so I'm going to wait until 4 o'clock, and I will then make some official announcements and reiterate why I'm here instead of Chris and stuff like that. So. They're asking Scott if you will be able to tell a story during the time.
Well, I mean, so what I'm about to do is kind of the story. Literally, the story I'm going to be telling is sort of the truncated saga of the production process and the concepts, the constructs behind the game that I've been working on for a while from a standpoint of paper role playing game. So the story you'll hear me tell is kind of the journey that I've taken, both as a writer and an artist, to create an entire other world and all the fiction that implies. So not necessarily a story from the standpoint of like the ghost stories that I've told and things like that, um, but more of a focus on kind of the journey that I've taken to achieve what for me has been a passion of many decades. So hopefully that's something of interest. And the best part about this story is that it will be accompanied by visuals and artwork, which I'm hoping that you all will enjoy. Many of which none of you all have ever seen, especially some of the recent stuff that we're working on for our third book, which is the World Guide, and that is the World Guide is a fictional smorgasbord of a smorgasbord of uh, of what makes the world that the gaming world, the world that you play in our paper role playing game, is what makes it come alive. It's what makes it kind of unique to pretty much any other role playing experience out there right now. So hopefully that'll be entertaining. We'll see.
We have somebody said, wait, the second book is out?
The second book is out. It's called Magic and Martial Arts, and it's out and ready to buy. You can actually buy it.
And where can they buy it?
You can get it from Amazon, and you can also get it directly from our publishers, Studio 2 Publishing. And if I just noticed today that there's some kind of problem that's going on our website, the Shard RPG website,
Oh,
because when I go to our online store there, it doesn't effectively. Something's wrong with the display is broken, and so I've got to get our website guys to fix that. The company that we hired to kind of keep that going. So something, I don't know what went wrong on their end, but something's not nice. And by the way, it may not have gone wrong on their end. There've been a lot of updates and things like that to everything from Internet Explorer to Firefox, and that has created conflicts where our website as it's been coded just doesn't want to work in the same way. And by the way, that's after a full blown revision of and recreation of our website from the ground up to be HTML compatible. Prior to that, it was Flash driven, and of course, we know that's now gone the way of the dodo utterly. I mean, a few people out there now could even visit our Flash site as it existed, so it had to be completely redone. But what that means is, and it's too bad because Flash not being supported, our Flash site never failed during the entire time it was there. It was hard to edit, but it never failed due to updates to Internet Explorer or to Firefox or to Google Chrome or whatever. That didn't matter because as long as they were Flash compatible, then all the functionality of our site was handled internally in a Flash module that was created that was sort of incorruptible. And sadly, that's not the case anymore. One single update could just ruin some facet of our site's functionality. And that is incredibly frustrating. It's just so hard to keep up with it, sadly.
gotcha.
But while I talk, by the way, once it begins, I'll actually, and we have about 2 minutes now until the actual stream begins. But then I'll show you our Studio 2's website that has all of our products on it, and so you can see where that is, and you can see the how to get to it as well. And I'll kind of give a little tutorial so you can see all our products, since you can't do that from our site right now because that part's broken.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
What I'm doing right now is I'm saving off a bunch of images that I'm hoping will be fun to go through. So right now I'm doing all the saving of the images from our already published Magic and Martial Arts book, and then we're going to hop into the Trello interface so you can actually see the working Trello board, and I can show you some of the newest stuff on that too. The journey will kind of go through that. It'll start with a PDF or two, and kind of an introduction to all of our little shard products that we made, and then it'll go into the all the images from the Magic and Martial Arts book that's published, and then all the way into the working format for our Trello board. So,
and that is the title of the book, right? Is Magic and Martial Arts, or is there
that is the title of the second book, yes. And the title of the first book is called The Basic Compendium, and it's basically the player's handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide roll into one, essentially is what that is, along with the B series. So that has a little bit of everything. It's the basics to play the whole game. And then the second book is the Magic and Martial Arts book, which is an expansion on those kind of systems within the game, plus some extra character races, and then 90 new character races, in fact. And then the third book we're working on now that we have not yet published is a huge, whopping 500-page tome, basically, that is going to be the World Guide, which is the go-to Bible of our fiction, so to speak, all the canon fiction.
Cool.
So yeah, that's going to be exciting. But oh man, has that taken a lot of effort. I'll go into that in a moment in the story. Oh, it's 4:01 right now.
Yes, it is. Okay, so here we go, guys. Welcome to the weekly Shroud of the Avatar stream. My name is Steve, and I am Ravalox in game and a lot of other places. Oh boy, gotta change the stream title. I have that wrong. I've been notified. Give me a second. Let me do that. Get onto the right tab for it. Too many things.
That is always the way.
Yeah. They got this wonderful stream manager dashboard, and it's different than. There it is. I found it. Okay, there we go. Okay, all right. That should be updated. Everything's good there.
Awesome.
I hope. Where was I? Oh, yes. So normally, of course, Chris Atos hosts the stream with a plethora or a random plethora of team members and various guests. So this week it's going to be myself and Scotty, the illustrious and notable Scotty. Um, of course of the team as well as Shard
Shroud.
fame. No, Shard
Oh, yeah.
fame.
Oh, Shard fame. Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Fame. If only. If only it were true fame.
So this is something that we were planning on doing anyway. I was actually thinking next Friday was going to happen, so this is a little bit short notice that I'm doing the stream this week with Scotty, and Chris is taking the day off. We've we've had a bit of a hit this week on the team. This is going to be it's probably as difficult for me as it was going to be for Chris.
Right.
One of our team members' wife passed away today, or not today, but this week, and
Yes.
it's Jen, Justin, or one and only's wife, has passed away. So it's quite sudden, and everybody on the team is quite upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been very difficult. She, not only was was Justin beloved on our team, and has continued to help out, even though we've all kind of had to spread out a bit, not just because of COVID-19, but because of financial situations and everything else. I mean, uh, Justin remained active in helping us out, and so we remain close with him. And of course, any gathering we ever had also included his wonderful wife Jen. And Jen was incredibly amazing from a standpoint of, not everybody uh, can just turn around, meet someone new, and begin to immediately engage them in a way that is uh, uh, both welcoming and so obviously sincere. And she was a sweetheart because of that. And so just suddenly losing her like this, out of the blue, unexpected, was a shock that was devastating to us all.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
hard for me to imagine it. It's hard for me to soak it in. So if I can feel this way after being invested in her and knowing her as briefly as I did, with the level of warmth that came from her and was so evident, so obvious every time you interacted with her. If I can be this aggrieved, and it's difficult to talk about, to be very honest. I can only imagine how Justin and her family feel right now. So, uh, uh, so please, everyone, kind of spare a thought for Justin and Jen's family during this time. And if you are ever in communication with Justin, please offer your condolences. It's going to be a tough time for him,
Yeah,
uh, because we've all been through some kind of loss like this, and so you know what it's like to have to figure out how to go on living after such a loss. How do you live without the person? It's the timeless, ageless question.
yeah,
So uh, my hat's off to Justin and his family for what they're going to have to go through, and my deepest heartfelt sympathies for them.
exactly.
I'd
Yeah.
like to share.
So with all that said, we've also, Chris has put together a GoFundMe, which I'm posting into the chat now. Um, so if anybody wants to go over there and donate something to help Justin get through this, that would be wonderful. Any bits that are donated to us through the stream today uh, will go directly to the GoFundMe. So um, in case you want to do it through the stream, you could do it this way as well.
That's good.
So, obviously our best wishes go out to Justin and his family to manage to get through this. So there's a huge um, impact. Jen's been with him since high school, so you can imagine how hard it's going to be.
Oh yeah, lifelong partners. I mean, that's uh,
Yeah,
you can't get more of a strong bond than that.
exactly.
Talk
Yeah,
about commitment, and talk about uh, uh, you know the human and emotional investment that goes into that kind of relationship, and you only begin to scrape the surface of the devastating iceberg that is this kind of tragedy.
yeah, absolutely. So we'll move on, because otherwise we'll probably be uh, you know, somber the whole the whole hour. So we'll try to put that aside at this point and move on. Uh, so as I said, this was not expected. This is kind of an emergency fill in at the moment. Um, so I get to be the one blubbering in front of y'all instead of Chris. So anyway. So to move on to other things, I've been working on the game for as part of the team now for just about a year. At the end of this month will be a year that I've been working on the project directly, and of course I've been working with the community as a community member and with the team on certain things like SodaBot and SodaMap and some other things back when Jacob was running it and things along those lines. So been around and been doing everything I can to help the project along. Nowadays, I am working on some scene stuff. I'm actually right now we're working on a scene for the Lord of the Isle package that is based on the fishing expedition pack scene, which is what I'm in now. That will be designed to be basically a mini scene as a basement for the Lord of the Isle owners. They could go in and do stuff in there. So hopefully that'll come out really nice. And I'm also starting to dip into dungeons as well. So player dungeon rooms, working on fixing some of the pre-existing issues and new dungeon rooms, as well as actual dungeons for the game itself. This is an ongoing learning experience for me with the interfaces and stuff like that. Last time I actually was an active dev on a real production game, it was back in the tile graphic days around the year 2000. So I have a little bit of spin up.
That's a very different experience than the world building of today, right now, in our kind of game, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a bit. So, of course, I got my hands in a bunch of different things. Some of the stuff I'm doing that's not visible, and I've only recently been getting back into the public eye again with the Bug Brigade coming live. Um, but I've also been doing audits internally of databases, some processes. I'm going through the Jira database and cleaning up stuff. There's a ton of things in there that have actually been completed that just needs to be cleaned up and closed out. Uh, and other things along those lines, documentation and stuff that needs to be updated. So I'm working on all those things and just very quietly, touching things as I find them. And of course, I now have a huge backlog. So, um, and of course, it's self-imposed, so that's always a wonderful thing. Um, and of course, as said a second ago, Bug Brigade. The Bug Brigade is now a little bit over a month old, and we are getting ourselves organized and still cleaning up the stuff on the forums. One other thing I wanted to say about the bugs in the forums there is that it's going to take a while for us to get caught up and get everything sorted out, especially since there's a range of critical, what we call blocker bugs, critical bugs, high priority, and then all the way down to low priority stuff, which could even be something like a misspelling of something. We have a number of players who like to report spelling errors, which of course do need to be taken care of. So there's just so much bandwidth, obviously, with a team of this size to take care of everything. So please be patient with us as we get that stuff sorted out. One of the changes that I had made with the way the forums are operating for the bugs is that any bug that is currently open, obviously you have stuff that's reported, and then the bug brigade, the moderators are going through and marking them verified once we know for sure that it's reproducible and it's something that one of the devs can tackle. And then we'll assign an issue number to it, and it'll be changed over to submitted and get into the queue to be worked on. So um, in the past, what we would do is when a new release would come out at the end of the month, we would actually wipe all those things out, wipe the whole thing clean, and then start again. Stop doing that. Basically, um, what I what I feel is that you guys need to see what the backlog looks like. I mean, this is helpful for not only that you'll be able to see definitively, hey, I found this bug. Is it already there? You could search in the forums, and hopefully the searches will be clear enough. We're changing the titles as well. I mean, you guys create titles of the forum posts as needed, and then when we submit them, we're going to try to make those forum titles clearer, so that way, if you go to search something. What's really happening will come up, right? And then you could also sort the forums by the status of the threads as well. So you'll see if the things are submitted or verified or not anything, or if they're as intended or whatever. So the point being is that the entire pool of bugs that are currently open in the database internally will be represented in the forums. So this way you'll know what the workload is like, and you'll know if the bug is acknowledged, if it's there. We're not going to hide, it's not going to go away. We're not going to hide anything, and hopefully nothing will fall through the cracks. It could still happen. There's a lot of flow occurring there, and it's still a small team, even who's processing, and then the intake is a bottleneck as it is to get everything into the database and get going. So just wanted to give everybody a heads up on that stuff. Now I'm going to look at the chat and make sure that nobody's asking me stuff. um, but okay, so good deal. And so today I'm not doing too much in the way of questions, but obviously I'm going to pass things over to Scotty, and he's going to talk about all the stuff that's going on. I know that today was supposed to be we're going to ask you questions, but I think that we'll end up doing that next Friday instead due to the circumstances. Now, prizes are going to be coming up here, and I'm going to send out. the prize reminder again. Finding the right window for this. I lost my windows. All right, so how I close that.
Forgive us these technical difficulties, by the way. We're trying to navigate through handling this kind of thing through Discord and dealing with it in a way that has not been normally dealt with before.
There we go. Yes, actually, that's a good point to say. Is that usually Chris will call us on Skype and we'll use Skype, and well, my machine doesn't like Skype, so I have some diagnostics and troubleshooting to do there. But we're currently on Discord, so actually, if there's any quality issues or anything, it would be nice to know for going future. If this works good, and then at least we have some options, and we could use Discord as well. So, okay. So with all that said, guys, get your stuff in for prizes. I'm going to be running the prize bot in about 5 minutes, or actually 3 minutes, and we'll get the prizes up there.
In the interim, should I make my introduction for those who may not know me or are joining us today without necessarily knowing who I am?
Absolutely. Yep. Sorry about that. I know I kind of went off on a tangent and got distracted. So my
Oh, not at
apologies,
all.
sir. Go for it.
Yeah, not at all. I figured I did do my introductions at the beginning of my little thing. So my name is Scott Jones. I've worked with the gang at Portalarium and at Portalarium for uh, 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 a little over 4 years or so at this point during the production cycle of Shroud of the Avatar, and was not only engaged in the earliest production stuff, but then went back and worked on other things for a while they got the Kickstarter running, and then after the Kickstarter ran, and then they got that kind of thing formed and crystallized, I came back in and started working with them directly in the office. And so I've been doing that for a while, all the way up until the whole COVID stuff, and then the dispersion of the office and people starting to work from home and things of that kind. And I had been helping on and off even after I had to kind of sort of start taking a longer and longer hiatus away from Shroud of the Avatar in order to continue to pursue and get published the second, and now being in the midst of publishing the third book for my own company, which is called Shard Studios. Myself and my business partner work through that in order to create the different gaming products. So that's who I am. I mean, when I was with Shroud of the Avatar and still doing stuff, which I hope to do again once I get all this other stuff done. I hope to go back and start helping Damon Waldrop again, working in art and scene and game design, and like Stephen, like Ravalox, um, I've enjoyed touching various scenes and building things and building areas. A lot of content development from a standpoint of creating game content, both scenes and objects of all kinds, and playing with and preserving and working with fiction too, and trying to make sure that all those things complement one another and blend and mesh together. And I do the same thing for my own personal stuff for the Shard RPG. But like Stephen also, I'm looking forward to getting back into scene design, and that actually manifested recently when a friend of mine began doing all this wonderful work in his backyard to try to create little landscape stuff and planting of plants and bushes and all these things. And when I went back there into his yard and began to see what he had to work with, I so wanted to reach out like I can reach out when I build scenes, and just take and clone like those bushes over here and here and here and try to build these areas. And I really wish I had the tools of the editor to just reach back into his backyard and just design it the way I knew he was trying to go for, but just couldn't quite get there. And I yearned. It got that itch going again for scene design and content creation again. So I guarantee you, I will want to try to get back into with the Portalarium crew again soon and try to help. But it's not going to be until sometime next year, because wow, this book that we're working on is a big deal, and it's requiring all of our time. So So let me give you an idea now that you know who I am. Let me give you an idea of what Shard is, because for those of you who've known me for long enough that you know that I've been working on a separate deal off to the side. That's been going on since long before Portalarium started. In fact, first started decades ago, back when Origin was still Origin, and I was still working there. And then even before that, I'd started to work on this game. So it's been a long, long, long project and a long process. But the Shard RPG is, let me give you the elevator pitch. It's an exciting game of heroic fantasy and adventure that's set in the realm of Darduna, which is also known as the world of the False Dawn, which is a rather unique fantasy campaign setting. You won't find the standard fantasy fare in the pages of our books. There are no elves, trolls, dwarves, knights, or even dragons. Indeed, the campaign world is quite a deviation from most of the European fantasy settings, such as Dungeons and Dragons, that we're familiar with. So Dardanas time period is not strictly medieval. The setting draws its flavor from Eastern rather than Western cultures, nor is it set on an alternate version of Earth. In fact, there are no humans on Darduna. In the Shard role-playing game, players may choose from a wide variety of animal people who are the main cast of the many adventures that the world offers. Skyships glide through shimmering clouds past majestic crystalline mountain peaks, and giant insects prowl alien jungles or lurk in the sparkling emerald waters of the seas. Warriors with blades of diamond and amber and crystal duel across crimson sands, and mystics chant in shadowy chambers as their spirits wander abroad or in the realm of dream. And it is a game of high-flying martial arts and ritual magic, with, I'd say, the main paradigm for its cultures being drawn from the very mythic and wondrous past of ancient India's very rich culture and constructs of spirituality. Deriving our deriving the sort of inspiration that we get from ancient India, we also derive inspiration from a variety of other things as well, like Miyazaki's Warriors of the Wind, for instance, or from aspects of one of my most beloved properties is growing up as a child, the Dark Crystal, and that kind of amazing world, the world of Thra. So you will see if you look into this, elements of things like that. We have a website which is www.shardrpg.com, and in fact, Stephen, if you wish, go ahead and go ahead and bring up, if you would, my thing, so I can actually start showing some visuals here and give them an idea of what I'm talking about. You can hear me, I take it, right?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, give me a second. I got to do the prisoning. We have two of those to do, one now, and then we'll do another one probably about 4:45.
Sure.
And we have another guest who wants to join in, and I'm trying to get him in on Discord. So let me read off the prizes in the meantime.
Excellent.
Okay, so the prizes are as follows. An ornate spider legs cloak is going to Jolene Sade, I believe. A spiderweb cloak is going to Ripclaw Whiteheart. Woven spiderweb cloak is going to Litharian Silvermane. A zombie statue is going to Gronburak von Hitten. And a rustic two-story village home goes to Taryn Merrywhistle. Congratulations to all who have won. We'll be sending the prizes over to Elgarian, and he will do the delivery as he usually does, so wonderfully and timely. And he does. The prize delivery and the events and stuff have gotten really great once Rick came on board, and he's got a good handle on all that stuff going on. So very consistent nowadays. Um, okay, let me just post up thing here. Just waiting for the go ahead to. When I add them in, it's going to restart the thing, so it'll probably drop you off of the stream for a second. But you
Do
don't.
I need to be to rejoin or anything?
Yeah, there'll be a button to rejoin the conversation.
Okay.
So, and if it's if it's not obvious, I will run right over to where you are and help you. Since it's less than a mile away, I believe. Okay. All right. So let me just get the. Why do I keep losing? Oh, okay, that's why. Do copy this up, and I want to put in the GoFundMe link again to remind everybody that any bits that are. Oh, actually, I can do this. There we go. Yeah, any bits donated today during the stream will go towards the GoFundMe for one and only's um, bereavement fund. He lost his wife this week, so um, the entire team is very much broken up over this.
I'm so glad Chris was able to set up the GoFundMe. I think it's
Yeah, me too.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, all right, he's ready. Give me 1 second, guys. Talk amongst yourselves while I work out how to add this in here. And then there. Okay, good. No. Okay.
Hello,
There,
hello.
there he
Wow,
is.
look at that. Richard, how are you, man?
Hello, hello.
And
Hey,
now
that
it's
works. All right, excellent. I just muted my game window there, the Twitch window.
I just need to adjust OBS so that way
Howdy,
you
everybody.
guys
Great
are.
to be with you. Sorry I'm late. I was out painting something and lost track of time. I meant to be on from the beginning of the stream. Apologies. Anyway, very good to be with you here today. I know Ravalox, you guys are a bit shorthanded there today for obvious reasons, and glad to be with you here on this day. Glad to see you, Scotty. Wonderful to see you. It's been a while since we've seen each other, even digitally, much less in person.
I know.
I look forward to getting back down to see you in person when I can. And joining us today also is my dog, Delta, who has been pestering me for attention. I figure I'll show her off here a little bit here today, too.
So cute. She seems so tiny. Like, what breed is she? Can you hear
And
me?
let's see, are my vocals coming through? I can. Oh yeah, I think they were. So
Yep,
I
you
turned off
are.
the Twitch window. But Scotty, let me see how I can hear you.
First of all,
Let
Stephen, can you hear me?
me
Yes, sir.
turn
Yeah, no,
off.
we're all good.
Okay.
Yep. So we have a holy crap Lord British. It's good to see you again, my liege.
Hang on a second here.
Can you hear any? Can he hear any of us? I wonder.
Who's that? Lord, Richard?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me, Richard? Yes.
Yeah, he says yes. So we're good.
Yes, now I can.
Yep.
Okay. Good. Good deal. What breed is that unbelievably cute dog? Can you still hear me?
That is a Klee Kai. Sorry about the delay. I don't have my audio set up properly yet.
A Kleekai.
that's better. So experimental stuff today, guys.
You get to watch us be Luddites. Isn't that cool?
All right. Oh, thanks, Trelena, for subscribing. And I apologize to everybody if I'm missing these things. Obviously, I don't have the pop-ups, the overlay on the screen here that Chris normally has. I promise as I go forward, I will get myself better situated. It's been a long time. This is a new version of OBS that I'm using. It's no longer made by Streamlabs. It's made by, well, OBS. They've branched out and it's a fork or whatever and different things. So it's a little bit different.
Now, hopefully Richard will be able to hear me here. Richard, where are you at right now? Are you at your house in New York? Okay.
I can answer for him. Yes.
Okay, yeah. He's nodding.
Yeah, there you go.
Is your microphone not working right now? Oh.
Yeah, it's probably the same type of issues that I always have with switching back and forth with Discord and stuff. So sorry about that, Richard.
Well, here, Richard, if you can hear me while you're trying to work on that. Oh.
No, not hearing you.
No, it's not working.
He'll get it. He'll get it.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
Yeah, if you're joining in, you're about to see. So I was invited to come on today since I've not been able to do any work with Shroud of the Avatar recently because I've been so focused on this other thing. There was a lot of curiosity what that other thing was, and so I was going to be going through like sort of a whirlwind demonstration of what is this thing, the Shard RPG that I've been working on that's been taking up so much of my time. And a visual presentation as I talk to kind of give people a kind of a visual idea of the width and breadth of what this time-consuming project has been during this time. Something that has existed since even before I worked with you at Origin so many years ago, and has been going on ever since. God, your poor hands, so covered in the paint.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
All right.
I'm still not hearing you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, his mute button is off though at this point. Well, while he's working on that,
It's a bummer.
We could continue on and bring up your stuff. So, Scotty, if you share your screen with me the way you were before.
Okay, let me do that right now.
And then I'll switch that over to that, and then you could start talking about your stuff. And when Richard actually gets audio, he could just
chime in,
interrupt.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for questions. And likewise, again, like I said, Stephen, you too, feel free to chime in if you have questions or if questions pop up on the stream that people want to know more about something or are curious about something I said. I'll be glad to illuminate.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm watching the chat, and I will do so as needed.
Great. Well, here I'll start off by just opening up the screen that shows what our website looks like, so that you kind of get an idea for it. And let's see if you're able to see the image of this yourself. Let me know.
Yep. Give me a second. There's OBS, and we switch cameras. Turn that one off, and then turn on this one. There we go. Okay. It might.
So if you can see it, then the next question is, can they see it?
Yes, they can see it.
Make sure that that they confirm this.
Okay. All right. Yep. Sir Frank says we can see it.
Fantastic. Hey, Sir Frank, how are you doing? Well, listen, let me give you an introduction. Like I've already said, I explained sort of what the Shard RPG was about. That is it at its core. And so, outside of the typical world of medieval Europe that's often represented in fantasy games, this one draws from the East, like I said. So ancient India, Burma, Thailand, Indonesia, Bali. places in the East that often people who are even aficionados of the East, in the form of the very popular Chinese, Japanese lore and look. This is even a further deviation from that. It's very niche, but because that part of the world and its amazing fantasy is hardly ever explored. The world of Shard was something that me and my former business partner wanted to present, and me and my current business partner still wish to present in ways that can hopefully charm and delight folks and get them into a whole different kind of tabletop gaming. What you see here is our website, and you can kind of immediately start to get a flavor of the world. And from this website, which you can see the site here again, like it's www.shardrpg.com. You can browse through our galleries, do cool downloads. The site is designed to be pretty simple to navigate. Lots of good stuff to look at and see. Downloadable content in the form of like screen backgrounds, as well as mini modules and games and stuff to get you started. The game itself, in fact, under this crystal, you'll see the welcome booklet itself, which you can download, that really gives you the whole spiel about the game, all the basic rules of character creation.
I heard a Richard.
Yes. Oh, are you back online now?
I think I am. Sorry if I interrupted you there. I didn't realize it come through to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, great. Okay, fantastic. Keep going there, Scotty. I'll just throw out a comment there. Yes, I know you've been working on this forever, and as people were commenting on in the feed there, you are truly a master storyteller. Even in your kind of just your broad description of what the world was like was so flowery and beautiful that everybody was really enjoying it. But yes, please continue. Sorry for the trouble getting on and the late getting on. Glad to be with you now.
No, that's okay. Welcome. And again, I mirror the sentiments. So good to see you, and I hope to see you again soon. The COVID-19 has just thrown us into a state of unfortunate isolation and solitude half the time.
Yeah, definite withdrawal symptoms over here.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, good to see your smiling face. So exploring our site's really good. Right now, as I mentioned before, there's something broken down here. Our online store normally has a really good showing, but something is messed up, and I have to talk to our folks. But in lieu of doing that, what I can show is that our publisher Studio 2 has all of our products, which I'm hoping you can see that now. By going to our publisher's website,
yep.
And then typing in, under where the products listings are, if you can find the word Shard, which is our game. And then it shows everything from the very first book, which is the basic compendium, which is essentially like the DM's guide, player's handbook, and monster manual rolled all up into one. This is the basic rule system and character creation system and fictional content that allows you to kind of play the game. All you need is 6-sided dice, paper, pencils, and friends. And
by the way, Scotty, people are online asking they would love to get a link because I can't quite see it myself on the feed. Maybe Ravalox, if you can echo into the Twitch feed there the URL so people can go here and see all these products.
Yeah. If you could, just paste the.
Yeah, I'll paste it in here. Let's see. I'll paste it into the
Discord.
The Discord thing. Yeah,
I got it right there. I have it all copied across.
Okay,
awesome.
Thanks.
Great.
And yeah, for some odd reason that link does something weird. Again, you just go, from their site where you can do a search. You can just search for Shard, and it will come up with just the list of our products. But I also urge you to, for those of you who like tabletop gaming, check out all of Studio 2 stuff. The reason why we love them as our publisher is because me and a lot of our other friends who do self-publishing for the sake of just the love of tabletop gaming, they really, Studio 2 covers all the small fry, all the little guys who are self-publishers who really don't get the chance to get into the public eye, and they end up going to all the conventions and set up their booth and offer all of our products And especially the bigger ones like Gen Con, we go there too, and there are mini booths inside of their greater huge booth where we can sell at our own little table or our own little booth inside of sort of their compound of all the wonderful other creators that put their products there. So you can find some great stuff on the Studio 2 site, not just Shard. So looking at this, you can see the very first thing we did, which was the Shard Basic Compendium. And the Shard Basic Compendium, like I said, really is the heart of the system. To get an understanding of what that means, I'd sort of set up a little thing here that lets you look through the art of Shard. This book right here, which is one of the things that we sell too, although that's not on the Studio 2 site. You can only get that from us usually exclusively by finding us at conventions, which is where we make special copies to sell to people. That's the only way to get them. But I'll get to show it to you here. And so what you get to see here is you get to see, as I briefly kind of go through here, visuals that really give you sort of an idea of what the world is like. Everything from the high-flying martial arts to, the fact that we have magical crystals that give off light and heat and a variety of other things that can be done. Mystics that chant in their chambers and perform their ritual magic, to the martial artists and the individual both villains and good guys that are all a part of our world. And so the visuals that you see here are really the very beginning. These are some of the earliest graphics and artwork that we did for the game, and some of which I worked on, some of which even Dennis worked on. In fact, at the very bottom here, this image right here, of the weeping musk ox, is actually not only Dennis LeBay's character when he played with us in the Shard game. This is also based on a sketch that was his art. So he sketched it out, and then I actually went in and then painted over it to create the final image. And Dennis has been a playtester for Shard and just a gamer in Shard for decades. If that gives you kind of an idea of the community that has embraced this game. There's a lot of overlap between us and the role-playing game world that Richard has been a part of making for years and years and years. So it's just a huge gathering of friends that are incredibly creative in a broad number of ways. Everything from the plays that end up getting performed at the Curtain Theater on Richard's property here, to a lot of the folks that I play with in the SCA from time to time, who were also people who worked at Origin System over the years, and then their friends and extended families. So it's really just a really wonderfully huge, broad family of very creative, very playful and wonderful people that I've had the honor of being able to enjoy for years. So looking at these images really gives you a sense of sort of where we started when we were kind of publishing the very first book. With that being literally the cover without the graphics on it. But there are other products too. The Game Master screen has this piece of art in it. The Magic and Martial Arts book uses this piece of cover art, which again is a mixture between me and then a mutual friend of Richard's and mine named Richard Fox. Who we know and met him through the SCA and such over the years too. He's a fantastic artist, and Richard Fox ended up turning around and doing a lot of amazing pieces of oil paintings, huge ones that are then being photographed and placed inside of the artwork for our third book, which we're working on right now. In fact, this is the cover without the actual words for our world guide, showing the shattered world of Shard, and also known as Darduna, world of the false dawn, because there are two suns, which you can see here, and then the sort of phantom-like lineup of the Deva sort of off behind it in that celestial field. And then, of course, there's the characters you play. These are the sketches of the Zoics, which is what they're called. All of them are anthropomorphic animals of all the various kinds you can imagine being on Earth. We don't have any fantasy creatures, but that doesn't mean you can't make them for yourselves. If you want to play the same kind of game and make, dragons and unicorns and Pegasi and things of that
Hey,
nature, you can.
Scott, some of these characters may be people's fantasies, so that's cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's kind of funny. I've had actual people who wanted to play Shard in the world, but they didn't want to do anthropomorphic animals. Instead, they wanted to use orcs and trolls and elves and things like that. And we actually have a system there to create your own templates for the character races, and you can apply that just as easily to orcs and trolls if you wanted to make your own, or even fill it with humans if you'd like. We chose anthropomorphic animals though because anthropomorphic animals are associated in our minds in both myth and legend with the same thing that the real animals of our world are, which is that they each have their own unique powers and abilities. Birds can fly. Some creatures have venom. Others have spines, like this. The scholar. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the name of the the name of the animal.
Hey,
The porcupine.
Oh,
yeah, you're getting loads of comments in awe of the quality and the just absolute wonderfulness of everything that you're showing.
Oh, thank you. And I'd love to say you ain't seen nothing yet, because this was our first book, and this was our attempt to make it as beautiful as we could with the limited number of people we had and the talent that was at our disposal. But in these recent years, the last 2 years of development, maybe 3 years at this point of development, as we got our second, and then now we're almost done with our third book, we begin to reach out into the communities that supported us, including the furry fandom, but also just general artists who are like, folks that you might see on ArtStation and things like that, who do really great, wonderful concept art. The actual cover of the very first book was done by a friend of mine, Jim Daly, who also used to work with Richard and I back in the days when we were doing. Was he on Tabula Rasa, or was he on back in the really old days when we were doing Ultima 9 and what was it? Richard, what was the?
You mean you're talking about the artist?
Yeah, Jim Daly.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and he was on Ultima 9 also, and that's when we were working on Ultima Online 2 briefly also at the time.
Yes, which we were calling Nexus, I think, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, and he's a great guy, and he contributed the art for the first book. So, but we still had a limited. We tapped into a very limited number of people at the time, and we didn't have a lot of money back then. We really didn't, and even now we don't have a lot of money. But my current business partner is independently wealthy. And
Sanya says he was that Jim Daly was on Tabula Rasa.
Oh, he was on Tabula Rasa. Okay. It's just been so long, and
it all becomes a blur, a long development blur.
Becomes a blur.
It's funny. The speaking of how long the blur is for people like me, people were noting that something. I'm not sure, Twitty, or if you're Scotty, if you're watching the Twitch feed, Twitty, but behind the shard screens is still Shroud of the Avatar, and a duck was walking back and forth behind your shard stuff. Yeah. And so I've been cracking jokes about Don Dupre saying want to buy a duck, and Santre saying where I can buy a duck, and so just saying.
And we do have a question in there asking what the possibility of a Shroud Shard crossover would be.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. They're just set in so completely different worlds. I'm not even sure how that would even be possible.
Well, you never know. One of these days, we could suck in one of your races or something into a future character class, or some kind of, or at least find some tomes and some books, perhaps with some, peel off some illustrations and tell a little bit of the story of your game in texts that were found. They found a portal through which they could speak, but they could neither see nor hear.
but which they could download. Amazing.
Yeah, strangely, in addition to speaking but neither seeing nor hearing, a book could fall through. But, for those of you who don't know, that is a haunted house reference when Lord British would speak to people as a disembodied face through basically a well of from the distance. And greetings, Avatar. This is Lord British. So I have found a portal through which I can speak, but I can neither see nor hear, and give the player advice as to how to continue.
Which was hilarious in itself, because we had to do that, because otherwise they would stand there and try to talk to the head, and they still did.
Exactly.
They still did, whether we wanted them to or not. There's just no way to get away from that. So yeah, so maybe, who knows? One day that would be great. And by the way, after all, as we all well know, um, uh, you know, animal people have been part of our our Earth's myths and legends for so long that in all honesty, that's why you see the cat people inside of Elder Scrolls and a variety of different. I mean, you see the different lion men and cat people. The Khazinti were a good example. The cat race that was in Wing Commander. All those are examples of anthropomorphic animal people that have been enjoyed by a variety of different games as especially as player races for a very long time. So anytime we can see that kind of stuff, especially these days where it's been brought back into the public domain through things like the movie with Kung Fu Panda, right? It's just cool. And of course, our superheroes are laced full of that kind of thing too. So when you play these kind of characters, which I'm hoping you can see that Archer right now in front of the screen.
I have to channel YOLO right here when you're putting up that Archer. Me and YOLO have been having a Twitter argument about triple crossbows, and he has been lamenting the fact that we have been putting triple notched projectile shooters in our games because he keeps assuring us it's not possible. And he was never going to build one. And then finally I challenged him on Twitter and I said, come on, really? Even the great YOLO can't figure this out? And then he spent the next few tweets actually trying to figure it out. So he actually thinks he could build one right now. He just thinks that the mass of the three projectiles shouldn't be identical, that the center projectile would need to be heavier than the outer projectiles. But in any case, we'll let YOLO weigh in on that one.
Well, and he is the master when it comes down to that. For sure. I mean, I'd be really interested to hear his solution if he does come up with that kind of thing. Now, of course, what you're seeing here is a hand-drawn bow, and a lot of the stuff. And I'll bring this up just as a fun aside, especially because in the Shard game, we have different classes that you can play. Not classes. We have different martial arts styles that you can use for your character to play in the game. And those martial styles may be, oriented on different weapon types and things of that kind, as well as open hand-to-hand combat. But, there are a lot of things that we took for granted as just being fake. Like, no, that could never happen. We laugh at the idea of Legolas being able to do the kind of stuff that, bow tricks that he did in the movie because they had to all be set up because there's just no way someone can wield a bow that quickly. And only for them to discover recently that no, it actually is. There's a lot of those old manuals that showed weird things like you're seeing right now with them holding multiple arrows in their hand, like a fan of them, and doing weird things like leaping through the air and firing a bow effectively. There's actually a guy that did enough research to realize that those manuals weren't just fiction. When they were showing those old things, people knew how to do that for real. And there's video now comparing side to side this archer who has learned how to do these things, who can literally leap through the air and land on his side and fire 3 arrows one by one in perfect succession without aiming, by the way. And he'll hit the target every time, and moving targets as well. He can fire arrows faster than Legolas was depicted with special effects doing so on Lord of the Rings. So it's kind of crazy. But I mean, that's the kind of research we got to do while we were working with stuff for the expansion rules in Shard, which was magic and martial arts. So the stuff you're seeing here, some of which is pretty humorous looking, some of it's just fun and cool in general. But these are visuals from the second book, which expands into the realm of new character races and such. We have 90 character races, animal templates for animal people in the very first book, and 90 more in the second book. And they cover the whole range of reptile, amphibian, and mammal. And as well as avians of all kinds.
Let me sorry, Scott. Let me jump here for one moment, just to say that we are getting ready to run our second prizing of the day.
Sure.
So I posted up the reminder in the chat to use the phrase "I love fall most of all," and you do that in game chat or make a purchase on the website add-on store to qualify for that.
Do you want to do the prizing now, or are you still building up to it?
Yeah, I'll give a few more minutes for anybody who has joined the stream who wasn't aware of it to get a chance to get that in there. So I'll do it in about 5 minutes. We're obviously running over a little bit on the stream today, but I think that's fine.
Yeah, hopefully you all don't mind. And I know, Richard, just like them, there's a lot of things in here that you probably have no idea we've been doing, that you've never seen some of these images. But this is a lot of these images you're seeing are collaborations between other artists and myself, or luckily branching out into a whole bunch of new artists that have been able to do some amazing things as well. So even while Ravalox ends up talking a little bit to do the prizing, I may continue just the slow playthrough of these images so you can get an idea of the kind of stuff that second book, which is also out on the market now, offers. What you're seeing here, by the way, all these black and white ones are the artwork used for our different martial styles. That's actually showing things happen to characters in it, and we have fiction that kind of plays out the use of that martial style in a scene in the game to give people an idea of what they're buying if they buy that style and apply it to their own character. Here you see an image that indicates the effects and power of magic in the world. In this case, there's two sorcerers, two sirhabasi is what they're called, battling one another with magic in the realm of dream. Hopefully you can see these images well.
We can.
Oh, yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's really great artwork. I presume in the books you credit the artists who worked on each picture near the picture somewhere, I assume.
Oh, well, so no, we handle that in two different ways. We credit the artists in the actual beginning of the book, where we give, basically there's a credits page that lists all the people who contributed, including the artists specifically. And then we publish what you the very first thing that you saw in that PDF that I went through. That's called the Art of Shard. And in the Art of Shard book, we literally devote a little bit of time talking about the artists responsible for the art that's seen on those pages nearby them. So not only do we credit them in the book itself, but we also publish the art book and make the art books available so that people can actually associate all that artist's work with their name and a little bit about who they are and what they've done. So yeah, we try to credit them in several places. Because I mean, really, the caliber of the art that we've been getting recently has just been really, really nice, especially when you're considering that something as big as you're seeing here is literally less than a quarter of the size in the book. In fact, it's probably closer to a sixth or an eighth of the size. So, some of it can be a little loosey-goosey, but for the most part, they're tiny images. But the book is chock full of them.
Great. Good deal.
Yeah.
So we have prizes. Lord British, would you like to read the prizes off?
I would love to read the prizes off. Thank you very kindly. I'd be happy to do it.
You're most welcome.
And so today, in the second round of prizes, a little backup singing by my Fleet Kai miniature husky. The first prize is the ornate spider legs cloak, and the ornate spider legs cloak goes to Blaze Garsnick. Blaze Garsnick, as you have the nice ornate spider legs cloak, and the spider web cloak. The spider web cloak goes to Sephiroth Scourge. You are the proud owner of a spiderweb cloak. And the woven spiderweb cloak, goes to none other than our well-known Sean Silverfoot. Sean, congratulations on your woven spiderweb cloak. And the zombie statue goes to Dick Flint. Dick Flint, you are the happy owner of a zombie statue, just in time for your Halloween setups. And the rustic two-story village home, the big one of the night, the rustic two-story village home is going to go to Ryan Mercury. Ryan Mercury, you are the owner of the rustic two-story village home. Congratulations to all of those who won the prizing, and thank you all so very much for participating with us and joining us here this evening. By the way, also, a number of people, by the way, have been talking about in the feed, why isn't there more Shroud news? Don't forget, everybody, this is an unusual week for us. For those who didn't hear at the top and were not aware, one of our team members lost their spouse this week. And so a couple of folks are offline and out. And So we have sort of a special event this week, and Ravalox, I think, already mentioned it a couple of times, which is all of the bits that are coming in today are going to be put over to the Fund Me page that is put up in honor of his wife. So thank you for everybody for joining us, and for anybody who donates any bits today, like I'm going to do myself right this very moment. So anyway, thank you all of you for your continued support for the team, for the project, and for all that's going on. Back over to you, Scotty.
Excellent. And man, those sounded like great prizes. That's really cool. Hopefully people will be able to get in the gameplay and enjoy those things, because I haven't had a chance to get in a while, and I'm actually kind of I was mentioning earlier that because of some recent yard work that's being done at a friend's house, I got over there and immediately got into the mindset of how I wanted to help in the yard by creating a scene, but I really craved the kind of tools that I had to build scenes in the editor. I wanted to be able to like clone the bushes and the plants and the objects of art that he had in his yard and just put them all where I wanted them to be, just as easily as I could build a scene. So, yeah.
Scotty, if you ever
Hypertrain incoming.
Hey, there you go. So
what's that?
Hypertrain incoming. When people donate enough bits, then you get a hypertrain. So there's like bonuses and other things that come to everybody who's donating. So thank you all very much. We're already up to a level 2 hypertrain. Yep. Excellent.
Get to a target of level 5.
Excellent. I'm going to throw a few more in there myself. I know everybody's doing what they can. Every little bit helps. So,
absolutely.
And Scott, don't forget, if ever you find yourself with time that you want to get into the game, I am positive there will be a long line of people who want to group up and go adventure with you.
And man, can I say I need it, because this year has not just been rough because of COVID, but our very first book was like 280 something pages. The second book was a similar size. This third book, the third and final hardcover book for our game, supplements will follow, but the third and final hardcover book, which is the World Guide, is 500 pages long. It is an enormous task, and I have been at it night and day. So yeah, being able to get to a point where I can actually kind of sigh a sigh of relief and just go and play games for a while would be a great thing for me.
I was in there playing myself yesterday, and we even fought a couple of duels with some of the players, and realized yet again how if it wasn't for my crown of immortality, I would be in real trouble. Even as much cheating as I can do, it's only that one final cheat of immortality that saves my ass. Pardon my word, for my French.
Your bacon.
Yeah, my bacon. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm way behind. I would have to be nanny coddled by everyone around me for me to get in there and actually be able to survive even the smallest adventure at this point.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of those maps personally, so even that won't help me. The ins and outs and the secrets don't help me from being just, jazzer slain by every small monster that would run up to me in the game.
So, is this a good time? Could I transition back over to some Shroud stuff? I want to.
Yes, I was going to say what you see in front of you before I
please.
I'm going to relinquish the reins back to you again, but I did want to show you. This is what I'm involved in right now. What you're seeing here is a Trello board, and for those of you who are not familiar with it, the Trello board lets us, at least even just for artwork in general, plan out what we need for something as big as a 500-page book. So give me just a moment, Stephen, and I'll show you some of the highlights from this real quick, and then I'll turn it back over to you, because this actually answers the question of what I've been doing recently.
Absolutely, sure.
And for the sake of what I mentioned to you, Richard, Richard Fox has been doing some exquisite oil paintings for us. So this, if you can see this right here gives you a really good example of what he has been doing.
Yeah.
Just wonderful stuff. And he's doing it in the style that was known as Orientalism, which is where people who really didn't necessarily know the culture, I mean, they were basically the colonizers. But they were artists who tried to capture, from an Eastern sort of standpoint, what, or Western sort of standpoint, what the East was to them. The Orientalist images I know you all have seen in museums are the ones that show these incredible Persian scenes, ancient Constantinople or Istanbul, things of that kind, right? So he's trying to capture this in a lot of these images, but we also have other artists as well that are doing the same thing for us. So, and some of these artists love to work in the actual real medium. Like what you're seeing here is a watercolor painting. Some of these, however, have been done in the computer, and I'll show you some of those. But as these get done, I mean, Richard Fox is literally in the middle of like just doing some incredible oil paintings. This is one of them that he's mocking up to try to do for us right now. So never before have there been images that have really allowed you to sort of descend into the world from a visual standpoint and really get the idea of both the coolest and most beautiful things, but also horrible things. I mean, just like with Shroud of the Avatar, the Shard RPG, you don't get to have a gaming experience that is full of the kind of depth as you would get without understanding ethical dilemmas as well. And so, the ancient world was full of slavery and enslavement and the caste system and a lot of other really grotesque things. But without the enemies and the villains that throw these concepts of ethical dilemma at you, you don't. There's no conflict in your game. So you got to have it, as unsavory as they may be. So yeah, what you're seeing is just a lot of work being done to kind of indicate what this world is like, and hopefully, you all looking through these things and seeing them. Only some of them are really ready to be seen. You get the kind of of glimpse into another world that you don't often get, and there's really no place better to get this kind of glimpse than in the milieu and genre of both online role-playing games like Shroud of the Avatar, and then paper role-playing games that really get you to try to throw yourself into that role. Role-playing is an investment, time and energy, and you all know that more than any other. Not just in the creation of those games, but even in the playing of them. You don't time doesn't come cheap, and so to be willing to invest not only the time but the support that you guys have, both in Shroud of the Avatar as well as those fans of Shard, you don't get to see that kind of devotion every day. So forever, we thank you all for that kind of devotion and interest in what we do creatively for your benefit, for ours. So yeah, I mean. Richard, I know you've seen Richard Fox's artwork again and again, but yeah, this stuff, he's just gone above and beyond the call of duty to really capture the essence of our game.
Indeed, I've been a fan of his art forever, and his costuming too, for that matter. But yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we've and so as we go through the process of doing this kind of stuff, all these artists. Well, I mean, I'm being an art director yet again, just like I was under you for a while, Richard. You have to guide a vision, and guiding a vision is never easy, whether it's for the purposes of art or the purposes of storytelling and world building or whatever it is. People don't understand that the cycle of production in this is just intensive, immense, and utterly time consuming in a way that a lot of people, it's really hard to understand unless you're in it to win it. You know what I mean?
You mean art's not easy to create? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Art is not easy to create. I've been missing that make art button for years.
Yeah.
Where is it? I don't understand, Adobe. Why can't you give us that? But and the same goes for any creative endeavor, whether it's the building of a world through fictional writing. I mean, that's an art form in and of itself. And that's why our designers and even our programmers, the coders who have to bring all these ideas to life. It's just a it's a seemingly never-ending task, but it's got to end somewhere, and then you have to keep polishing it until it's as shining as you can possibly make it, and that takes its time too, and its toll.
Good.
Anyway, yeah, good stuff coming from this direction. And I'm hoping to get back to working with you guys again soon once this just unbelievable amount of work is done, because we're talking unending illustrations. Just the plants of the world have to get their own little their little treatment. And we're working on right now. We're in the middle of the bestiary, trying to get this bestiary going. So everything from the whimsical to the frightening.
Yeah.
In fact, this is one of my favorite ones, which I'm about to show you right now. This was done by Matthew Spencer. Oh, and by the way, Richard, another name that you may know, Darren LeBlanc has been doing work for us too.
Of course.
Yeah, in the form of creatures, and so he's done some really great work for us as he's been going along throughout all this process. He's like, here's a good example of it. His depiction of a giant, like basically a molten crystal dauber. The glass dauber of the world, and like I said, other horrific things like this, giant parasite thing that is a kind of a dungeon crawling denizen. A lot of great horror stuff, but and Darren LeBlanc especially loves the horror genre. But then you get these beautiful things like this caravan creature, which is sort of a living caravan in and of itself, the Kasherukam, a caravan crawler. And I think one of my favorite ones is, let's see, because you can see me kind of going through here. Hard to see though, probably from your end until I make it big, but giant aerial creatures, kind of reminiscent of the what were we calling them, tabula rasa sky whales or something like that. Do you remember those, Richard?
Nope. Richard, you're on mute.
Oh yeah, sorry, gossamer whale.
Yeah, the gossamer whale.
Gossamer Leviathan. Gossamer Leviathan.
Yeah.
That also reminds me of the never-ending story flying creature, which Ravalox, I know you're planning on switching back over here in a second.
Yep.
Are you going to bring back up our pictures onto the feed?
Yes. Scotty, is it okay to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to share this, and I want to thank you for this time, because that gives me the ability to kind of share a bit of my world that you all really haven't had a chance to know or see. And the more this kind of thing gets seen, the better it is for our ability to produce just the kind of amazing works that really inspire us, and that hopefully at the end inspire you all. And really, especially in times like this during COVID-19, even if it's online, the ability to get together and play games with one another, whether it's in the digital media of Shroud of the Avatar, or whether it's paper tabletop kind of games that they have interfaces now for that people can play online with groups. I highly urge you all to do that, because in times like this, kind of keeping that family of, and friend network together and just having good times is a reminder that, that despair is not the only answer. It really isn't. So please take it away from me, and I'll stick with you guys for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Scotty, thank you so much for all of that, by the way, too. Great to see how far that's continued to come. When you mentioned the Gossamer Leviathan, I know, that reminded me also of a gift that showed up in my snail mail today from Shooter Jennings. For those of you who know, Shooter Jennings, close friend of many of the team members, as well as, of course, the project as a whole. Phenomenal and talented musician, famous for a wide variety of styles of music also that he performs in. But I received this in the mail that is part of an album that I helped on called Countach. But this came in this strange little box. And so I was going like, could this little box be what I think that it is? And so I had to unbox it myself to be sure. But sure enough,
oh my God,
an 8-track tape. So this is an 8-track tape version of his last album, or one of his most recent albums, Countach. And so with the never-ending story kind of a creature flying on the front of it there. And so now I have to go buy. I already looked up on Amazon a USB 8-track tape player just so I can stick it in and hear what a modern recording sounds like on an antiquated recording device. I guess it goes along with the cylinder records that we have, of the piece that YOLO did for us.
I'm still trying to find a player for one. I really am, and I'm having
They're
ill
tricky
luck.
to find.
They
But
are.
eBay, and I don't have a search going for them anymore because I've got mine already. So I don't have a search going at the moment. But you can still find cylinder record players on eBay periodically.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and they're not easy to come across. That's for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah. I'm surprised you could even find an 8-track tape player. I mean, those barely have value.
Who makes them? Who makes them? How do you get them manufactured? Do you have to do it himself manually in a recording device? I don't know. That's amazing. It's really amazing.
That's so awesome. Yeah, that's the Luck Dragon. I'm trying to remember what his Falcor. That was his name.
Falcor, yes, yep. Falcor. You got it.
Okay, guys, let's switch tracks back onto Shroud here, and there's definitely an extended stream. So thanks for everybody. Thanks everybody for sticking with us. Know that it's a weird time of day and everybody's got things to do. Of course, there were many thanks extended through the chat to you, Scotty, for your presentation, and a lot of interest. And
my pleasure. My pleasure.
A lot of love being sent over to Shroud of the Avatar and the team as well. So let me do some of the business here. We got the fishing contest results from, I guess it's this week, right? Yeah, Friday to Friday. And again, I apologize, I'm not going to be as good at this as Rick is, Elgarian, but I will do my best. And then I want to talk about some of the stuff that we're testing on QA and then go forward from there. So fishing contest results. We have Ava Thorne with a king salmon of 2.53 ambiguous units. That's was caught in Dark Bayou or Dark Bayou, and I guess that's the Pot Town's player-owned town roll-out deed large gold fishing trophy. So again, I apologize if I'm not reading off this stuff correctly, but the Sogrin Tixal. Tixcal, maybe. King salmon of 1.964 ambiguous units, caught in Libris ruins. That was the PvP category, I think. Two chained obsidian shard 3-packs, large silver fishing trophy. And Delayan Lakian, a plesiosaur, 7.262 ambiguous units, caught in Bunker C. That's the lava category. Fishing rod of prosperity with a large bronze fishing trophy. So congratulations to everybody who won this week. And I think the upcoming events might actually have where the next, what the next fishing contests are. I think there's something that changes there. So, and do we have our upcoming events? So we paste that up here, and there's a couple of things to note on the upcoming events. There's a link in the chat now. Okay, so there's an Extra Life event that's coming up on November 7th and 8th. That's a little bit of a ways out, but it's up on the list now. The Terrifying Tea Tales, which is Lilybird's holiday, Halloween scary stories and such, is going to be on October 18th. And there's a Halloween party on October 23rd from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Central Time in Port Titan. And amongst other things, there's plenty of stuff actually in here. So click on the link and go on the forums, check that out. On the website rather. Check out the upcoming events posts. There's lots of stuff coming up for the Halloween season. Okay, sorry. I'll get better.
Oh, wait, you're muted. You're muted, Richard.
Thank you. I saw that. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say Halloween's one of those things where, for those who know me well, know that's like my number one favorite holiday of the year. But if there was a year to do it online, this would be it. So yeah. So everybody go decorate your lots and give us an excuse to come visit. So I would love to come to any haunted houses anybody creates. That would be a blast for me.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to see that done well.
In previous years, people have done some really, really rocking ones. And the tools, but as you all know well, the tools for being able to put in automated storytelling events has really improved this last year. So, in any case, I will await any invitations. If anybody getting them done, send me a message on the forums, and I will come and visit your haunted house. I would love to do it.
Right, and especially now, the player-based storytelling has gotten more and more to the point where it can be more and more immersive. Elgarian has been stocking the store with a ton of Inky-based NPCs of different types, and he continues. He's going through the database and finding all the wonderful NPCs that could be used. We have a satyr and a faun now, and a whole range of different types of NPCs coming into the store in the next cycle.
See, cool. Perfect. So yes, make a great haunted house and invite me to come visit it. Yep. And put a store right out front because I need to stock up on my stuff too. So if I love your haunted house, I'll come and buy stuff from your store to help fund the haunted house.
That's awesome.
Excellent. So the big thing, of course, that we're working on right now is mounts. We're bringing finally getting the stretch goals for the horses are coming into the game.
Didn't I hear the clip clops are in or coming in?
Yeah, they're coming in. We're working on that right now. We had them working for a second, and it's all on QA. So we patched QA this morning, and we thought we had something that was going to work, but then we found that it's working in some scenes but not others. So we have to do some other things to get that working globally. And I believe Chris is actually working on that, and there should be another build for either tonight or tomorrow morning that will take care of that. So this is one where we're keeping a lot of focus on it, a lot of attention to detail. And as all the bugs that are being brought in, getting them right into the team, we have a focus channel inside the organization for the guys who are actually working on this specifically to make sure that anything that's going on with the mounts that'll prevent them from being totally awesome gets taken care of as soon as possible. So at this point, I also have in the player test environment section of the forums, there is a post in there called a testing directive. So anybody who wants to go onto QA and do testing, there's instructions there and links to download the QA client. And there's also a post in there that explains what's going on with the horses, and it also highlights what the current issues are and the ones that we've fixed, and where our status is on them. So that way you could follow along. And if you find a new bug that's not in that list, please post on the forums in the player test area. So that way we know that something's going on. We could verify it, reproduce it. The bug moderators are standing by to check out those things and make sure that we can reproduce the problems, and then we can go in there and fix them all up. So I'm going to show you. I think I already have these in my inventory. Nope, no, I fell through something. Hold on. How did that happen?
Literally fell through.
Yeah. Oh, geez. All right.
Now Richard, you can see me in here, but for instance, I can't see Ravalox. Can you?
Not in the Discord chat, but I'm also watching the stream on another window. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get them both.
Yeah, and he's that's because my camera can only go one place. So. All right, let me get over to solid land here, and we'll do like a ghost horse. So we have specialty horses. As I said, we had saddles.
Oh, nice! Look at that. That looks so great.
We had saddles and and reins working actually yesterday, and the new patch that we put in to fix other things actually caused the saddles and the reins to
I love how the
not work.
ghost horse is appropriately not casting a shadow, but you riding on the ghost horse are.
Yeah, look at that.
That's great.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, very clever.
Very good. Yeah, and the horses can walk as well. So
Yeah.
That's
now,
going in. I
And
really
was that a snort? Do I see snorts come out of its mouth there too, or kicking up some sand? I can't tell which.
oh, I'm not sure.
Snorts. Looks like a snort. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming out of its nostrils. Yeah, that's great.
that's a great detail.
Yeah.
There's the Nightmare mount.
Nice.
Very cool stuff. And the third one with VFX on it is a Shadow Horse. You get a trail of shadowy stuff too.
Oh yeah.
And it's the same thing where no reflection
Where
from
it
the horse.
doesn't. It doesn't block the sunlight. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there are a total of 14 different skins, horse skins, well, unicorns as well. We have a black and white unicorn, and
Oh,
A black and white unicorn, like a zebra unicorn.
no, I'm sorry, a black unicorn and a white unicorn. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's better.
Yeah, and so they're all available on the QA server to come and test and play with. And all you have to do is come into the fishing expedition scene, which is available by going to Arteris or Airy and a number of other locations in the game where the teleporting boats are. And come on over to the dock here, the fishing dock, and you'll see all the chests. And you want to test those out because we really want to, run the horses through their paces, and find all the bugs. I want to get them all, situated and documented, and then try to sort through as much as we can before release comes. So that way we could release a nice, solid feature.
Great. That looks. By the way, that looks fantastic. So I can't wait.
Yep. Thanks. Okay. So I did this. I think I caught everything that I was supposed to do. So as far as other new news, I don't have anything else that I can talk about today. The normal show will be back next week, and I'm going to take a bet that we will pick up where we left off, which means that next week we will be asking you questions. So that way you could give us input on ideas and features and stuff like that. So Chris should be back then, and we'll resume our normally scheduled stream at that point.
And by the way, I'd like to put forth, no matter who you are, no matter where you are in this lovely country, go and vote.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Exactly. Whatever your political leanings, we all need to vote. If the only way democracy works is to have an informed electorate that goes out there and votes the way their heart and head, guides them to vote. So go vote.
Yep. Your vote is your voice, so speak loudly. Well, it was a pleasure joining you all today. Thank you so much. Richard, again, so wonderful to see your bright and happy face.
Likewise.
Hopefully it can be in person sooner than later.
I know. Such a tragedy. I was going to come back to Texas to vote because my kids go to school here in New York. But then but it turns out that COVID is so bad in Texas, I would have to go into 2-week quarantine when I came back, so I couldn't even be with my family. So I had to send off for a mail-in ballot, and so anyway, it's more complicated. But I'm hoping I get mine in on time. So that's the race I'm in right now. But I was planning to be there in person, but can't do it in person right now.
Yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed because I know how important that is to you, man.
Yeah.
So and is there anything else for the day? Thanks for letting us run it a half an hour over.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming in and making me not have to worry about having nothing to say.
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing that we do is we raid somebody, and I'm looking at some candidates now. We have it was Dinaroo Live, who says shameless attempt to get rated. And he's got 4 viewers for right now, and you know what? I think I'm going to give him a shot. We'll go and raid this person.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Now
Wait, now explain this to me. I don't know this.
So raid means our whole group. This is everybody on board with us here. All 117 of us are going to land in their stream that currently has 4. And so they will be very surprised to see all of us jump in. Hopefully, we'll throw them a few bits, and then we can be as funny or rude or as we like.
Yeah.
We can just interrupt their stream, basically. Here we go.
Yeah. As soon as I could
See
find...
everybody. Thank you. Yeehaw! Off we go. As soon as Ravalox figures out how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
10, 9, 8. Brother.
That'll help encourage him. We're the countdown now to the doom.
1, 2, 5, 3, sir. The number of the counting shall be 3, and 3 shall be the number of the count.
And there it's okay. Ready, start raid.
Okay,
there we go. Okay.
Here we go.
See you later, guys.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Scott.
And
here we go. It says it's going.
Waiting.
It still says it's going.
Yeah, it does.
Is there something else you have to push?
No, it should be going.
Anytime now. Okay. Wow. All right. I guess we all get 250 points, it looks like.
Awesome.
Drum roll.
Do we get to see a thing happening if you all are actually...
hit the raid now button? Somebody says there's a button you still have to place. Maybe?
Okay, maybe I'm missing it. I hit the raid channel button, and I hit start raid. So
there's a countdown going on it, so that must be what it is. There, I see it now on my screen. It's 3/4 of the way down. I would say it's still got 20 seconds left.
There's probably a different way to do it. And I see. All right, there, got it. No problem.
There we go. Okay, we're in there.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you, Scott.
See you later, Richard. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yes.